Just for today, I invite you to get into a nice, comfortable, seated position and take a deep, loving breath through the nose and out through the mouth. Remember, there is no right or wrong way to show up in this moment. So come as you are and take what you need. To the Take What You Need the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited. I've been following you for quite some time. I think we've been following each other for like years now. So it's nice to like finally connect.
I know.
Face behind it.
Same. I feel the same way. It's you were probably one of the first accounts that I followed on Black Magic Woman, and I remember just like seeing the platform that you had built even back then, and I was like, oh, I'm aspiring to do what she's doing. Truly.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, it's true. It's true. I was like, oh, she's doing it, and I want to do that too. Like, if I'm like, she can do it, so can I. Like, I was absolutely 100% aspiring to do what you do. You're so powerful. You have so much of a voice.
That is so crazy because like you don't really realize it. You just kind of are doing the work. You just do the work and you don't really expect to get, you know what I mean? Like I never expected my little platform to like grow into what it has. And I kind of just, it was like my venting space. When I first started, it was literally just my venting space where I would just vent about random things and people were like, hey, this is interesting. And it's so nice to like, since I've been doing it for forever, it's so nice to see other accounts that have grown and just like what they're doing. And it's, even though it's a really niche community, like I love it. I love it. I love to see people's growth, especially because I've been doing it for so long.
I find that especially with people with followings, you don't realize your impact. You don't realize that other people can see you. It's you on your phone, right? So you're like, how would I know that people are receiving? And because I also turn off all of my notifications for Black Magic Woman, I find it to be like very overwhelming. So I just turn off my notifications. I post and I go about my life. I just think it's me screaming into the void most of the time. So to feel that impact or have someone stop me to say like, oh my gosh, thanks so much for what you're doing. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. People can see me.
It's totally crazy because it really can be overwhelming. Like I remember like, maybe about 5 years ago, I had posted something like, I'm really just a bitch with an Instagram because like I am like, that's it. And it's so crazy because one of my closest friends, she went to New York and I think she was hanging out with this girl that she just met. And the girl was like, oh my gosh, you follow her? I think she's so like, she was like, oh my gosh, you follow her? Like, she's so funny. And my friend was like, no, that's like my close friend. Like I go to her house, like I know her. And I was like, dang, that's so wild to think that I connect with people on such a larger level than I can even imagine. Because throughout the day, I probably talk to like 5 people. You know what I mean? 5, like my dad, my mom, 2 of my friends, my neighbor, and my daughter, and that's it. So it's just insane.
Right. You're like, I'm just a girl. I literally am just a bitch with an Instagram. It's so true. It's so true. But no, you have to realize your impact. You have to understand that so many people can relate to your opinions, your thoughts, and you're like giving a voice to people who don't have like a following, don't have that Instagram, but like someone saying it out loud and you're like, oh, thank God someone sees me and is saying what I needed to say. I needed to hear that out loud. I thought I was the only one feeling this way. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. When did you notice like the uptick of your platform? When did you notice you're like, oh shit, this is actually something?
I want to say like right before, well, actually, because I had started on Facebook. So I had
Mm,
like started my journey on Facebook. I was in the groups because, you know, I'm with the Woo. So like I'm interested in everything. And
mm,
I've been with the Woo for a long time, for as long as I can remember. And so I started off in the Facebook groups. And then I was just like, okay, I'm going to move to Instagram and see what's happening. Because like at first, when I first started my platform, I think I started my Instagram platform in like 2018,
mm,
but I had been on Facebook since like 2016. Well, like seriously taking Facebook in 2016 because I've been
mm,
on Facebook since like you had to have a college ID. So I'm like old. But I want to say in about 2019, like right before the pandemic, that's when I was like, oh, this is like something. This is
mm,
like something bigger because like before I had been in the Facebook groups and like, yeah, people were interested in what I had to say, but it was like never like my thing. It was somebody else's thing that I helped with,
mm,
you know what I mean? And so I think when I moved to Instagram, I was like, oh, okay, so people are listening to what I have to say. And then
mhm,
once the pandemic happened, it was like crazy. I guess because everybody was home. So people were just trying to find some interesting stuff. And so that's really when I would say I had like the turning point. I
mhm,
literally went from, I want to say like during the pandemic, I probably went from like 15,000 people who were interested in what I had to say to like 40,000 people who were interested in
mhm,
what I had to say. And of
mhm.
course, along the way, I lost, you know, some people, but
Totally.
it was really interesting that
Yeah.
happened during the pandemic for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. So you just said you were with the Woo. You've been with the Woo. I want to take it back and kind of tell us a little bit about the beginning of your journey. What kind of led you to this place with the Woo?
I started, okay, so when I was very young, I had always had like a connection to spirit. Like I've always
Mhm,
had just strange occurrences in my life, just the craziest things. Like when I want to say like about 5 or 6, my mom's grandma well, no, not my mom's grandma, but my mom's grandpa had passed away.
mhm,
And I remember getting a call and like I got the call, like the phone rang because this is back in the day when you didn't have cell
mhm,
phones, you had the cordless phone or whatever. And
mhm,
so like I get the phone and I'm like, hello. And she's like, hi, can I speak to Gail? And I'm like, yeah, that's my mom's name.
mhm,
And she's like, tell her it's Nanny that called, right? And like me and my mom never really had conversations about her grandma or like her family or anything like that at that time. And
mhm,
so I went to my mom's room and I was like, "Hey, somebody is on the phone for you." And so she goes back to the phone and she like is like, "Hello, hello." And of course, the phone is dead, like nobody's there. And
oh,
my mom was she's like, "Who called?" And I was like, "Nanny." And she was like, are you sure it's not Nana? And I was like, no, she said Nanny. And she was like, because I call my grandma Nana. And so she was like, oh my gosh, you have to go to church. Because that's what she called her grandma. And so it was
mm,
her grandma that was on the phone. And then so
mm,
from that period, I had just like always like been able to get in touch with the other side or like they would send me messages and things like that.
mhm,
But the craziest thing about it is like I know that it's really trendy to be into, or it was really trendy for a period of time to be like into spirituality and things of that nature. But for me, it's always been in my bloodline. Like before
mhm,
I think about the same time I was about 5 or 6.
mhm,
My great grandma on my
mhm,
dad's side was actually with the Woo. She
mhm.
was actually with the Woo, and when she passed away at about 5 or 6, she when she passed away, like my entire family on my dad's side was like praying the witch away.
Mm,
And so like I don't think it's really surprising to anyone that I've just always been about this path because like I on some level I do believe that my great grandma that passed away gave me her gifts
mhm,
because I was the youngest at the time and just things of that nature. So she had to carry on the lineage some way.
mhm,
But I've just always been into it. Like I remember being like 14 and I used to go to the metaphysical shop like down the street because my best friend At the time, her mom owned a store that was right
Mm.
next to the metaphysical shop, and I used to
Mhm.
go in there all the time. And I've just always had like a inner knowing of what was gonna happen and how things are gonna happen. And so I've always just been with the woo. I think as I got older, I
Mhm.
tried to become more disciplined, I guess, and like
Mhm.
really just like fine tuning the skill for the most part, just fine
Mhm.
tuning it because I think everybody has the ability
Mhm.
to I don't think we all have the same gifts. Like, of course, some people are clairaudient, some people just have an inner knowing. But I think everybody has the ability to, and I think that's like one of the things that's going to be crazy with the next generation. I
Mhm.
think they're more tapped into the spiritual side than we actually give them credit for.
Mhm.
Um, but I think when I got older, I was like, okay, this is crazy. Like, because I had seen like I saw an ex-boyfriend, like he showed up in the back of my car once while I was driving and he had passed away like that
Mhm.
year. So, I
Mhm.
mean, I've just always been with the woo and never really had the discipline to be like, okay, so like, can we fine tune this and can you tell me what I want to know instead of like
Mhm.
random thing? Like, I've just always had crazy experiences. I know one time, I know when my grandpa passed away, he
Mhm.
came in and he cussed me out and I knew never to say anything else. Like he cussed me out, like read me for filth. And like my grandpa, yeah, that's very on brand for him, but he cussed me out one day. So like I've seen apparitions, I've had the conversations and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
But I think as an adult, my goal has always just been to fine tune it a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The whole time you're talking, I was getting chills, 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 like confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. Not that you need my confirmation, but it's just like interesting to hear you say it. And even like the phone call with your nanny. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it takes a lot to shock me. It takes a lot to like move me, especially in this world, because I also am a medium and see dead people and talk to them all the time. So it does take a lot to like to turn me sideways. I was like, oh my god, she wants to she wants to But oh my gosh, that is so interesting. And I feel like also too, the theme that I'm getting with a lot of like your bloodline is like boldness, like being so bold.
Yes, very.
Being cussing you out? Like
Yeah, he was mad. He was mad. I said something that I shouldn't have said.
Oh, I see, I see.
And so he was mad, and
Uh-huh,
I
uh-huh.
get it. I
Yeah.
definitely get it. That was before I like learned there's rules to this, and you can't just like say whatever you want to say. But yeah, he was very upset, and I was like, "Grandpa, I was just joking." He was like, "Keep my name out your mouth."
Oh, and you're like, yeah. And she
Yeah.
never spoke again. Yeah.
Especially in mixed company, because I made the mistake of
Uh,
saying that in mixed company, and he
I
was like, "Not
see.
again."
I see, I
But
see.
yeah,
Understood. There are rules to this. Absolutely. I think, yeah, I understand being in honor. Yeah, like honoring our ancestors and learning the rules, playing by the rules. It's interesting. And it's an interesting like code of conduct for this type of work. It's really interesting.
no, it is. It
It is.
definitely is. Because
So,
some of my spirits,
mhm.
like some of my ancestors are like super funny
Yeah.
and they have jokes all day. There's
Yeah.
nothing that I could say to offend them. Like my grandma, I could just talk to her like a regular person. I could be like, Grandma, what's up? Like, when are you gonna send me a dude with some racks? Like, come on. Like, and she just thinks it's so funny because she's like, yeah, because I don't want you when anybody broke. I'll remove them immediately, you know? And so then there are those other ones that require a little bit more work, a little bit more homage. And so it's really just about getting in touch with them and what they personally like, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
even in this realm, you're not going to approach everybody with the same technique. Like, you know, I'm
Mm,
not going to talk to my uncle who's a pastor and cuss and, you know what I mean, be a city girl. But like I would somebody else, you know? And so it's just about
sure.
understanding them and what
Yeah.
want.
Yes, time and place, time and place. That's what I keep hearing. Time and place, time and place. That's really interesting. I agree. A lot of my ancestors are um they're very funny and they're very very informal, very unserious. But when it comes down to it, like when it is game time, like they lock in, right? And I much appreciate that. But like I can see where I get it and where it comes from because nothing is that serious to me. And I'm like, I'll laugh all day long. I want to, before anything, I want to laugh. That's all I want to do. I want to laugh. But yeah, I'm like, I'm here for a hearty har. Like, I'm here for a good time. You know, like, I just want to laugh.
I'm here for a good time. I don't know how long, but definitely.
Right. Definitely. I just want to laugh. But on the other side of that, too, I do respect and appreciate your willingness to fine tune and like to actually like really get serious about your practice and really like it's not a hobby. This is a lifestyle. This is like a way of being. There's a lot of honor and respect that comes with it too. So I like have to acknowledge that as well because I think that's like a really beautiful thing. I don't think people like really put words to that. I think people decide, you know what I mean? And like this is how they're going to be. But I think putting words to it also kind of gives people who are listening, who are on this path to be like, oh, I have to actually make that decision. I have to like empower myself, step up, be respectful. I want to fine tune my gifts. I want to really honor what has come before me. That's really important. It's really important because I think also too, it gets a little bit commodified, especially with like TikTok, social media. Everybody is, not everybody, but a lot of people are that I've seen, at least just in my being in this realm. But people commodify, wrap it up in a cute little bow. And here we are out manifesting. Everybody's manifesting. Everybody's manifesting. Everybody's manifesting.
Exactly. It's like, man, like it's so crazy because like my thing with it being so trendy is like you are either with the woo or you're not. Like, you know what I mean? Like you got to be with the woo for real or you got to not be with it. Like just you can't dip and dabble when it's convenient for you. Like one of the things because I know I've been following you for a while and I think you've been following me for a while.
We have.
In 2022, I went through like probably one of the hardest seasons of my life. Like I went through the hardest season of my life. And, you know, it's like one of those things where it's like magic and the woo and whatever you believe can't get you out of it. You just have to go with the ebb and flow of it. And I think one of the dangerous things about TikTok, Instagram, and just this trendy spirituality that we have is like people are like, oh, I can light this candle and I can get some money. Oh, I can light this and the love of my life will come find me. Oh, I can light this and this will happen. And yes, that may very well be true, but you have to pay one way or another. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, sometimes the reason why you don't have what it is that you want is because you haven't gained the knowledge to keep it, right? So you haven't gained the knowledge to keep it. So although you may manifest $1 million from lighting that little candle, which I don't really think is going to happen, to be honest, let me just be clear, unless you actually work. But let's just say you manifest something, you get it, you're not mentally ready, you're not spiritually ready, you're not physically ready to have it. You're going to lose that manifestation so quickly. And then the second you lose it, you're going to turn around and say like, it's witchcraft and it's demonic and it's all this. And somebody's hexing me and somebody's doing all of these horrible things to me. But the truth is that you lit that candle. You wanted that in your experience, but you weren't prepared for it. And I think like when we go through tough periods of our life, one of the things that we have to remember is that these are preparing us for what it is we want, for the life that we're looking to receive, right? So these difficult periods, although they are inconvenient and they suck and they're hard, it's preparing us for where we want to go. I don't care how many candles you light. I don't care who you initiate with. You cannot circumvent doing the hard stuff.
Oof. Yeah. Oof. Got me there, sister. Spoken like a true ancestor.
You just can't.
No, like, you can't.
There's just certain lessons. I've always said I'm not a big person to hex. Like I'm not a fan of hexing people. No. But you know what? The best way to hex somebody, if you really want them to learn a lesson, the best way to hex somebody is to give them exactly what it is they want. You give them the relationship, you give them the money, You give them whatever it is that they are seeking
Mhm.
and watch them destroy that.
Oof.
Because the truth is if they were ready for it, they would have
Yeah.
received it.
Yes, yes, yes. Ooh, oh my God. I love you. I love you so down. That was so beautiful. That was medicine. That was exactly what everyone needs to hear. That was so, no, you're totally right. You're 100% right. It's, if you're not ready for the things that you're calling in, and also too, what I'm hearing is like magic and woo, spirituality, whatever you want to call it. It's not convenient. It's not meant to be convenient. It's supposed to be a tool. It's supposed to be helpful, but it's not. Yeah, you don't get to just pick and choose when you step into it and then turn around and hex it and be mad about it and then forsake it when it doesn't go your way. That's not how
Exactly.
magic works. And it's, I was just talking to another spiritual friend of mine the other day about this and how, like, even being a spiritual being, it doesn't negate, it doesn't, like you said, circumvent, it doesn't stop you from having to experience suffering, loss, grief, anger, frustration, whatever it is, hard times. It doesn't excuse you from that.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Trust me, if there was a candle I could burn, I would have burnt it a long time ago. I definitely would have burnt it a long time ago. But I think like one of the things, especially like when you're down and you're like depressed or going through something, the thing that you need to remember is that you're here to experience things, good or bad, good
Mhm.
and bad. You're here to experience things.
Mhm.
Sometimes it will be pleasant, sometimes it won't be pleasant, but
Mhm.
suffering does not last forever.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's
And
just to get you where
mhm.
you need to go.
Absolutely, the preparation for the future. It is hard, I think, in human experience when when it's rained down upon you for so long. It's like you're like, I just don't see this ever ending. Like, I just don't see this ever ending. But it is really nice to think that, like, okay, this cannot last. Like,
Mhm.
this cannot stand. This is not a forever type of thing, and it is preparing me for more. I just have to get there. I have to kind of like hunker down and get there. But yeah, no amount of candle burning, no amount of, I don't know, card pulls, whatever tool you use in your, in your kit, no amount of those things are going to stop it from just letting it be that if you need to be somewhere else. If they need you to
Exactly.
grow to be the person that receives the thing that you're actually wanting.
Exactly. And sometimes I tell people, like when I was doing personal readings, I used to tell people all
Mhm.
the time, I used to say the best thing to ask for, like instead of asking for money, instead of asking for love, instead of asking for these things, because these are all material things and they
Mhm.
can come and they can go, is
Mhm.
ask to be ready for those things.
Mhm.
Because I've seen it time and time again, people manifest things and then they lose things and you know what I mean? Like they gain money, they lose money. They gain
Mhm.
relationships, they lose relationships. And it's all just kind of like in and out. But the best way to really get what you want out of life is to ask them to prepare you for what it is that you want.
Mhm. 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 And also be prepared for it not looking like the way you thought.
Exactly.
And be
Exactly.
prepared for it to be like, and I like, that's, it kind of gives them there's a lot of room in that for it to be
Mhm.
it can be anything, good
It could-
and bad.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Because I don't know. When I think about like events that didn't necessarily go the way that I expected them to, or they didn't look exactly what I wanted them to look like, I've just kind of like accepted that that's part of the process.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
just part of the process.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. I think that's also a very mature way of looking at it. And I find with myself in my journey, like in the midst of it, it's hard to zoom out to be like, oh, this is just a part of the dance. It's just a part of the dance. But then I find reprieve and I'm like, yeah, this is a part of the dance. But usually when I'm in the thick of it, I'm like, oh my God, when will this end? This sucks. This sucks so bad. Yeah.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. But I think getting back on like the topic of like our ancestors and
Yeah.
our people,
Yeah.
I've been so mad. Like I think that people are afraid to say what they feel. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that stops us a lot of times from just like in the real life, in the physical world and the spiritual world. I think that a lot of people are afraid. I've had so many conversations with like God or Big Sandals, and I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, come on, like, get it together. You have 2 days to get this shit together. And you know what? Sometimes within 2 days, the shit is together. And
Yeah.
if it's not together, I tend to feel better. And sometimes you just gotta let those emotions out. As a Capricorn rising, I'm not a fan of like emotions, like they're gross. And like Capricorn rising, Aquarius moon, Gemini sun, like feelings, I don't want to know any true colors. I don't even want to know mine. So, you know what I mean? I'm not a fan of feelings, but sometimes they help. They help a lot.
I am also an Aquarius moon. I'm definitely like, I get the like logic it to death, think it all the way through, and somehow you've managed to think all through your feelings. But I am also a huge advocate for feeling your way through it. I'm a huge feeler. I'm a huge crier. Girl, I be feeling. It's like it's it can be incapacitating at times, but I do agree. Yes, feel those things. Feel your way through this. There's time for logic. There's time for feelings. There's time for all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's a balance that needs to be struck in healing and in learning and experiencing just in day-to-day life. I think there's a balance that needs to be struck, and it may look a little different for everybody. Not everybody's going to have to like cry their way through things. Me, unfortunately, that's the way I'm going to have to do it. But, you know, we're here. We've made it this far.
My Capricorn rising says you have 15 minutes on Tuesday. Or like you have 15 minutes on Tuesday, you can cry and it could be the hardest cry ever, but then you got to get but then you got to get up. And if you have to, you can cry in the car on the way to where you're going, but it has to be done.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely a big advocate of crying, but like we can only cry
on a time crunch.
Yeah. But like also you want to make sure that the cry is like worth it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, instead of like 2 or 3 tears all day, like let's really just open the floodgates for 15 minutes and then get on and do what we have to do.
Yeah. I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart, and I have been quoted as saying like, okay, as long as I'm going, like if I'm going to suffer this much or if I'm going to experience all this heartache and whatever, like as long as it's productive, like I could work with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like as long as it's productive, like if I cry a lot, but I'm so productive, like that's what I have to do. Fine, let that be that. But as long as it's productive and we're moving forward momentum, baby, that's the marching cry.
Exactly.
Yes. But yeah, making something of it. I totally get that. That's fair too. Much respect. I watched a video of yours recently. This was from a few weeks back, but you were in the car and you were talking about like being with the woo and dating and men, and usually these men think that like you've done something to them when they're like when they come into your life, and you're like, I didn't burn my good candles and I didn't pray for 40 days and 40 nights to like call in regular, so why would anyone call you in?
Oh, like it's the craziest thing because I've had so many men. Like I've had not so many, but I've had a few men who have accused me of using witchcraft on them, and I'm like, okay, so like there are options. I don't think you understand. Like there are options. There are so many things that I could ask for. Why would I ask for you? It's always the men that don't give you like the greatest experience. It's always the men who like want to do the bare minimum. It's always the men who like are easily forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's never somebody that you were like smitten with. Like no man that I've actually like really like just been smitten and like madly in love with, great relationship with, has ever accused me of that. It's always somebody who has like really shown up, showed me their ass, and just kind of been like a pretty shitty experience. So it's like, why would I have asked for this? Like, be fucking real. Like, why would I have asked for this? Like, you're not the most fine man I've ever been with. You're not the most rich man I've ever been with. You're not the kindest or funniest man I've ever been with. Be so fucking real.
Yes. Why would I was just laughing at the way you said it too, because it was so off the cuff. Like you were just venting. You were literally just venting, and you were like, why would I waste my good candles? And like you just had me at that moment. I was like, yeah, why would I waste my good candles? Yeah.
Exactly. Like I don't know. They're not that expensive, but like I wouldn't waste like 40 cents on
Right.
I wouldn't it's just like I wouldn't waste money or
Yeah.
energy, which is
Yeah.
even more important, or
Yes.
time
More
on a
valuable.
bad experience.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't waste it on a bad experience.
Absolutely. That
Like why
makes a
would I
lot
do
of
that?
yeah,
It's just
why would I waste my breath? No, it was just like a funny anecdote, but it was just something that like I had seen like pop up on my feed and I was like, that's so real and so funny and so true. And I like spoken like a true witch, like spoken like a true spiritual woman. Like I wouldn't waste my good candles on this.
like not at all.
No,
Like
no.
give me one good memory.
Yeah.
I don't have any. So why would I waste it? And it's just crazy because like since I've been doing this for a long time, I've been able to
Yeah.
do some great things
Yeah.
for people that I've loved or cared about
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be. Like one of my exes, I cured his son's hernia,
Mm,
which like I cured his son's hernia. Like they were about to operate on him and I cured
mm,
his hernia. And then when
mm,
he got to the hospital to get the surgery, they couldn't find it because it was gone.
mm,
You know what I mean? I've gotten people custody of their kids back. Like I've done just so many great things. So it's like
mm,
when you know that you have that ability, like why would you waste it on anything mediocre?
mhm. Anything less than what you deserve, or anything less than like the best, highest, most vibrational experience.
Exactly. And so it's just
Mm.
like I just sometimes want to like when men say that to me, I'm just like, do you want to check my resume?
Yeah.
Would you
Do
like
you?
do you want to check my resume? Because this is not that.
This is not that. Oh, I love that. I love that energy. That's so good. Mm. I had a question for you. As someone with this magnetic energy, as I came across a TikTok recently, this is kind of what inspired this conversation for me, is like this woman was talking about being a magnetic person and being able to discern who is worthy of being in your life, being in your light. I'm curious what your thoughts are about that, how that's kind of played out in your life. How does that land?
Um, that lands true. But I think like with she's 100% right because people with magnetic energy attract everyone. Like we
Mm-hmm.
attract the good ones, we attract the bad ones, we attract everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like at this point in my life, like I'm really at this point where I'm like, it's important for me to be selfish. It's important for me to have audacity because I feel like I've done, especially like within the community and like my personal community, like where I'm at, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot to help people.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of giving grace and benefit of the doubt and seeing things from an empathetic side. But I think like at this point in my life where I'm at, like unless I'm getting a hell yes, it has to be a hell no.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm around them and it's like more chaos or more confusion, then that's just a sign they don't need to be around me. That's
Mm-hmm.
a sign that they need to go wherever it is they need to go. I don't care where it is, but away from me, the farthest
Mm-hmm.
fuck away from me. Um, that's really important because like your
Mm-hmm.
emotions, although I don't like to deal with them, definitely dictate who should be around you. So like if you're with somebody and you're miserable all the time, that's a sign they don't need to be around you. Like that's your body giving a reaction like, no, this is not the one. Please pass. Like do not pass go. Do not collect $200. They need to go the fuck away.
Mm-hmm.
It's real like how much are you laughing? How much are you smiling? How much like what do you get out of the equation? Because you have this good energy and people who don't necessarily have that will always want to siphon it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes just being connected to you is a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that sometimes, unfortunately, as women, we don't realize that
Mm-hmm.
early enough. Like, we don't realize that soon enough. Like, just being connected to you in any way, just being able to say that you know me is a thing. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
can benefit off of that. So it's kind of like, what am I getting in turn? Like it needs to be reciprocal. If you're getting less than you give, then that's a sign they need to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is this something that took you time to learn?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay. Yes, yes, yes,
it,
yes, yes.
it definitely took some time to learn. it took some time to learn because you do want to always like be- believe that people are good in
Right.
spirit. You want to believe that people are good in spirit, and you want to
Yeah.
believe that this is, somebody is just having a hard time or whatever the case may be because you go through hard times.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes their hard time is really self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, a lot of times people are the weapons that are formed against themselves.
Oof.
And one thing that I've realized, especially like because I don't want to say like I'm a super empath or anything like that. I don't really fall in line with those terms, but
Mm.
I am a generous person. And so life has always been generous to me. I'm very kind. And so, people are generally kind to me. And give like these are just traits that are within me.
Mm-hmm.
I like to assume that other people are the same. And the truth is that they're not.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. And sometimes you should leave people in the fucked up situations that they find themselves in.
Yeah. Yeah. I can completely agree with that. Um, I definitely think women are socialized to, yeah, like be empathic and be understanding and be loving and like earn currency through being loved and being liked and being likable. And so you let everybody in hopes of, you know what I mean, like being likable, being loved, being whatever. And especially added layer of this like magnetic energy of everybody wanting to be around you, like moths to the flame. You're like, okay, like I'm doing a good job by society standards because I am so loving and everybody's loving me and it's all good. But then, yeah, you don't check in and realize, like, oh my God, I'm drained.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting some and I get none.
Exactly. And I think that is the hardest thing as women. Like we have to learn because from little girls, like we're taught, like we need
Mm-hmm.
sugar and spice and everything nice, like that's what
Mm-hmm.
they tell little girls to be. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, that may have worked back in the day when women couldn't vote, didn't have ID, like couldn't have a bank account and needed to be nice to her husband to get stuff.
Yep.
But right now, like we're living in the era of bromosexuals. These men don't want strong women. They don't even want kind women because they abuse them,
Mm-hmm.
but they want us to go 50-50. And it's just like, okay, so like, it's this weird level. I posted the other day and I said it's this weird level of competition that men are starting to have with women now.
Hmm.
And it's like a man who thinks that he's competing with a woman in any way has already surrendered his masculinity.
Mm.
Like, we can't be at competition. Like, we can't
Mm-hmm.
be in competition to like partner up together. Like, we have to be
Right. We can't be pitted against each other to be like loving each other, to bring each other up, to help each other, to support each other. We can't be pitted against each other.
exactly. Like, I can either fight with you or fight for you, but we cannot do both. And
Mm.
so, especially like in dating and things of that nature, that is my big clue. Like, are we fighting for each other or are we
Mm-hmm.
fighting with each other? Because if we're fighting with
Mm-hmm.
each other, we need to go our separate ways and figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. It definitely like struck a chord, that idea of like, I'm not your enemy. Like, I'm
Oh,
not here to like fight with you and like sabotage you and whatever else. Like, I don't have time for that. I'm exhausted. Like, I'm not your op. Like, I'm not.
exactly. I've said that before. I've said like sometimes these dudes think that we are their ops. Like,
Oh,
why would I be your op? I'm choosing to be in this relationship. Like,
I like love you.
yeah, like, and like you're treating me worse than your ops because I know your
Yeah.
ops, and you're treating me like you can't even sock that man in the face, but somehow I'm your enemy. Like, get out of here. It's just, but I think that men are starting. I think that unfortunately, I think our generation of men are kind of lost in the sauce because they lack identity. They lack a
Mm,
self-awareness of who they are.
mm, mm,
Unfortunately, the previous generations, they were like, okay, well, I have to make as much money as possible so I could get married and I guess get a wife,
mhm,
like,
mhm,
so they wanted to treat her well because by society standards, that's was the American dream. You get a wife,
mhm,
you have some kids, you buy a house.
mhm.
Now, today's man, unfortunately, the economy is horrible. They're not getting
Mhm.
the jobs that they want.
Mhm.
Women don't necessarily need men to find security.
Mhm.
And so they just listen to a bunch of red pill podcasts, think that women are their enemy, and it's like this weird thing. It's like they all decided to read the 48 Laws of Power and talk about it on podcasts all day,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
it's like weird. It's just
Yeah, it
weird
is weird. That's a
because they
good.
want women to be these soft places, but
Mm.
they provide nothing but hardness and disdain.
Right, right. I completely agree. Yeah, if you want me to be soft, like let me be soft.
Yeah,
Like put me in environments where I get to be soft, not where I have to be hard
ex-
and scared and defensive and whatever the case may be. I think also too like the cracks in society, the cracks in our foundation because like we just said that women are socialized to be these caring, nurturing, soft places, likable places, whatever fill in the, sweet adjective in this place, right? Whereas
Mhm.
boys, men are not socialized to learn how to replicate, how um to give back and forth. Like they don't know how to reciprocate, they don't know how to accept, they don't understand it. Like they just were never given the tools in our society to be like partners.
Yeah,
So
no, they're not.
this um like resurgence of like red pill content and like men trying to teach men how to be men, blah blah blah. It's these like broken people teaching broken people how to continue to be broken people and like
Exactly.
slapping some like buzzwords, you know what I mean, in the same old shit where it's just everybody's churning the same ideas out and out and out and no one's actually fixing anything, no one's healing, no one's loving, no one's growing or being better or evolving, for a better word.
Exactly. Like I always say, isn't it funny how free thinkers only have the same three ideas? Like people that consider themselves free
Uh-huh.
thinkers only have the same three talking points and the same opinions. So like how is your opinion that free? Like
Right.
how is your thinking that free if it's only
Right. How are you dismantling? How are you challenging? How are you doing anything different from the next guy next to you with a fucking microphone?
exactly. And it's not like I don't want to sit up here and like bash men
No.
because
No, no,
there
no, no.
are some great guys out there. And there are some great guys who really are independent and they think freely and they're not as easily brainwashed
Yeah.
as a majority of the men. And so
Mhm.
like those are the ones that I love to hear talk because they're not
Right.
as easily brainwashed. Like I watched this guy, I forget what the name of the podcast is. I gotta tell you later. But
Mhm.
he had something where he was like, yeah, I don't have a 50-50 conversation because I don't give a fuck what you guys are doing. That's not going on in my household.
Mhm.
Like, period. And
Mhm.
so it's like, instead of these same three talking points, like, I
Mhm.
think that men need to understand that I don't care what's happening on the timeline. I don't care what people are talking about on the timeline, but like, what are you going to do? Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. Like, what are you
Mhm.
going to do? How do you want your household to be run?
Mhm.
Like, what will make you happy? Is
Mhm.
working and providing and taking care of all the bills, is that gonna make you happy? Do you want a
Mhm.
smart woman? Do you want a woman who's like gonna have her own career? Like, what do you want? And I think
Mhm.
unfortunately for the red pill bros, like society, well, not even society, I just feel like their friends, the people they talk to, like they
Mhm.
all just like in this group think mentality. And it's like
Mhm.
what's good for one person is not good for all of us.
Mhm. Mhm. Echo chamber. Echo chamber.
Exactly. Cause like
Mhm.
certain situations, like whenever I post on my Instagram, I'm always like, this is how I run my life. Cause they drag me every time I say like I love having friends. Like every time you would never think that would trigger people, but it triggers people really bad.
Mm.
Like I don't know. Like they were going on for 40 days and 40 nights about me saying like you need to have good friends. But
Oh,
if that doesn't work for you, like I don't
sure.
do what works for you, but this is what
Right.
works for me. Like I love having friends. I'm a Gemini. This is my behavior. This is who I am. I was born to be
Mhm.
this way. So you
Uh-huh.
choose. You have options.
Yes.
And I think
Yes.
that people forget that just because it's popular or trendy or whatever the case may be, there's still options to do your
Mhm.
own thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's interesting that people, excuse me, people can find reasons to be mad about anything. And I find that with Black Magic Woman too. Like I've, I work diligently and I'm very conscious about making it a safe, loving environment, an inviting environment, a safe, like refuge place
Mm-hmm.
for, for people of color, for creative shakers, healers, all that good stuff. And you would be surprised how upset something can make somebody. And you're like, oh, my intent was like love, light, goodness, sweetness. Like you just said your quote was, I like having friends. You know what I mean? Like that's like the most loving, sweet, lighthearted thing you could say. And of course, someone is going to find something to be upset
You
about.
could say, I love apples. And then somebody's like, oh, I don't like apples.
I'm allergic.
It killed my aunt one time. And so I've never had an apple again in my life. But what about oranges? And it's like, bro, why don't you just talk about your. And I think that's the problem with the internet because one of the things that I love about the internet is that we're able to connect with so many different people, right? And so
Hmm.
many people that share the things that we like. And I think
Hmm.
that's a great thing. But like in my group chat, we were talking about it like last week, and I was just like, one of the things that I absolutely hate about the internet is that there is space to find even the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like even the
Yeah.
worst thing imaginable, there's a space on the internet for those people.
Yeah.
And it's like it's kind of scary in that way. But
Yeah.
I think like when I started my platform, I think it was just something different and something that
Mm,
I wanted to say. And
yeah.
nobody was really talking about these things back
Sure.
then.
Sure.
Nobody was really talking, or at least not as boldly. Like there were quite a few, but there weren't a lot of us. Like it wasn't all over. And some
Mm,
people weren't like as bold with it. And I think
mm,
that sometimes people forget that there's beauty in forging your own path. And I think
yeah.
that's something that I wish the men understood, especially when it
Mm,
comes to dating.
yeah.
Like forging your own path could probably change your life. I know it changed
Yeah. 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 Dare to be different, babe. Dare to be different.
mine.
I
Exactly.
wanted to ask you, with someone that has this following and has kind of cultivated your own path and you're doing this other thing, and how do you balance all of that? How do you maintain, how do you find balance?
That's a good question. Maintaining balance. One thing I think that helps me is understanding that unless you're good first, like nobody else is going to be good.
Mm,
Like one of the things that was really important for me is like when I was going through that situation in 2022 and I was like really
mhm.
depressed, like I really backed away from social media
Yeah.
because I was like, I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression.
Mm,
And I don't want to, let me get some water.
you're fine.
But I don't want I don't want to put the wrong thing out there. And
Yeah.
so I think the most important thing is taking care of yourself and doing those check-ins with yourself and being like, okay, like, am I ready for this or am I not? Because if you're ready, you're ready. If you're not, you're not, you know?
That makes a lot of sense. I think it's important for people to, yeah, cultivate that balance in the sense of like, okay, am I good before anything else is good? Like I keep hearing like wallet, keys, phone, wallet, keys, phone. Like, do I have my wallet? Do I have my keys? Do I have my phone before I leave the house? Like checking in, do I have what I need? Am I taken care of? What can I do to make sure I'm taking care of myself? Give myself the things that I need before I walk out the door and pour into all these other things and all these other cups. That makes a lot of sense. I also don't think that happens overnight, especially if you've been somebody that has had to give in order to survive, or to um yeah, you just had to like socialize to like put everybody else's needs before your own. I could see that being like a very hard like shift, but it's the most important one.
It really is because like I've seen so many people who are like going through so many things and it's a part of life. Like it's a part of your process and I get that, but I think we've just normalized hustle culture so much.
Yeah.
We've normalized hustle culture to the point that it's just like really disgusting. Like what's the point of money if you're not healthy enough to enjoy it?
Mm.
Like, what is the point of any of this if you're not mentally in a space where you can recognize it and be grateful for it? Like, what is the point?
Yeah, that's fair. How do you slow down and enjoy? What's your favorite self-care act? How do you slow down and enjoy?
So, when I first started my platform, I had a cosmetics company because, like, I was always
Mhm, mhm,
really into makeup. I was a makeup artist for Sephora for a little bit.
mhm,
And so I love to just do my makeup. Like, if I'm super stressed, I'm doing my makeup.
mhm.
I'm just creating a new look. I don't know. Like they love
Yeah.
to say that Geminis are two-faced and everything like that. So like whenever I'm stressed out, I'm gonna put another face on.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that's just like my Libra midhaven.
Okay.
I don't know if that's my Libra midhaven, but I've always felt like regardless of what I'm going through, I'm going to try and clean up because if I'm the saddest I've ever been or just the most uncertain, like I'm just going to get myself together because anything can happen. I've always lived a life where anything can happen. Like
Mhm.
today I could walk outside and then be given the keys to something that I never thought I would happen. And it's happened to me so many times. So
Mhm.
my greatest self-care thing is just like getting dressed, doing my
Mhm.
hair, doing my makeup, getting dressed, feeling good about myself because you never know who's looking at you
Mm, mhm, mhm.
or what kind of opportunity you might stumble on. Because I think with that Libra midheaven, it just like makes me really magnetic. It makes people look at me and be like, okay, like what do you have going on?
Yeah.
Like I talk about lies and deceit all the time because that's like my favorite ex. That's like my favorite person, like one of my favorite people. And it's so funny because I ran into him one day at a gas station of all places. And then the next thing you know, I'm going on a side mission to the Bay like 12 hours later.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? The Bay from LA. And it's just always been like, if I don't know what to do next, I'm gonna get dressed.
Yes. I
Even if
love
it's
it.
just to be at home, like even if
Yeah.
be at home, I'm going to get dressed because then I'll
Yeah.
get an idea to do something else and then that will lead me somewhere. And it's worked. I want to say like 9 out of 10 times it's always worked.
I like that. Yeah. When in doubt, get yourself dressed. I kept
Exactly.
hearing like adorning your temple or like when you mentioned your Libra midhaven, I was like, oh, like you're adorning yourself. You're adorning yourself. You're adorning your temple. That's absolutely that. Period. Period.
Exactly.
I love that. What are you currently working on in this moment? If there's something that you'd like to shameless plug for our listeners, we're starting to wrap up the conversation now, but if there is something that you are working on that you're proud of, or you kind of want to direct people this way, feel free to take the floor and like shamelessly plug it. And then we'll also share links and all that good stuff in the show notes at the end. But please take the floor.
Okay, no problem. Right now, so if you've been following me for a while, then you know that the Lovers deck is finally dropping. I'm really excited for it. I got a little scared, I'm not gonna lie, because the tariffs and everything like that. I was like,
Yeah.
145%. He's crazy. But yes, the Lovers deck as well as the RBIC deck is the second version of it is dropping. And I'm like really excited about it because it's like one of those things where they're telling me like you can't go further until you get this done because you've been working on this too long, so figure it out. So the Lovers deck, the Let's Get Deep deck, and then the RBIC deck.
Amazing. I know I was seeing those drops or the posts on your Instagram and I was curious to hear more about that. So I'm excited that's finally coming to fruition for you. I know creating a deck, getting things shipped over, you're like, I can't afford 145, like 140%. That's crazy. I get it. I get it. I'm in the process of making Oracle decks right now. I completely get it. You're like, what? But there's a will, there's a way. There's a will, there's a
Exactly. I
way.
was super nervous.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we
Here I
can go.
go.
Because I mean, I really worked really hard on these decks. I
Yeah.
wanted something
Yeah.
that was like true to like my experience in relationships.
Yes.
Something that would be personal the to the user because in my personal sessions, I've always been known to have like these witty comebacks and just like, come on, girl, like be for real. And
Mhm.
so I wanted to do something that would be helpful to people because I'm not offering personal readings at this time. And then
Okay.
the Let's Get Deep deck is kind of like a companion deck, and I've had
Mm.
a lot of experience with it.
Mm.
Um, and it's fun because you get to just know people on a deeper level. One of
Mhm.
the studies that I read was that pretty much all my stuff has always been backed by science, like
Mhm.
always. But one of the studies that I read said that if you ask somebody 35 questions, it will build a deeper connection. And so I created a little companion deck so
Mhm.
that, if you're talking to somebody, you have a little situationship with somebody, if there's like a little bit of kerfuffling going on, you can ask them lighthearted questions that will kind of give you a better idea of who they are. And that's the
Mhm.
Let's Get Deep deck. So I'm excited.
Mm, that's really cool. I mean, even just following you for so long and finally having like a one-on-one conversation with you. I mean, I can see those quippy little like quick tongue, silver tongue moments and absolutely telling people the truth and giving people what they need to know. I'm really looking forward to this deck because it will definitely get people all the way right. So really excited for you. That's going to be a beautiful thing. We'll be definitely keeping an eye out for that and sharing it when it does drop. We're really excited for that. Where can people find you?
Right now, I'm on my Instagram, which is Beauty and Bujería, BMC. There shouldn't be any more fake pages that I know of right now. But yeah, my Instagram.
Amazing. I'll definitely tag that in the show notes. Jazmine, thank you so much for taking the time. I know that you're busy. I know you're a mom. You got things going on. You're busy and you're living. I am so grateful for you taking the time to just literally like bless us with your wisdom. You are the coolest girl, and I've been following you for so long. I'm like a bigger fan than I thought I could be from before, and I was already like a really big fan before. So thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank
thank you
you.
so much. I'm so grateful for being on the pod. Like I was really excited about it, and I love all of your stuff and your content.
Yeah.
So
Thank
I'm
you.
grateful.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Just for today, I invite you to not waste your good candles on bad men. Lean into your boldness and trust your discernment. Take What You Need, the podcast was created by Lexi Bordeaux and Madeline Doss, with original music and production by Madeline Doss. If you would like to work with either of us, find our information below or visit our websites, lightandsable.com or badcataudio.com. You can also find all the links to our socials in the show notes, including info on today's guest. If you enjoyed today's episode, add it to your library, review the podcast, and share this healing that you just heard with someone in your community. This is a Bad Cat production.